cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut.
Today's episode is brought to you by Gem Accessories. Gem Accessories is one of the leading accessory manufacturers within the trading card game space. Known for their deck boxes, Gem also has an amazing lineup of binders, backpacks, and more. Some of our personal favorites include the new KLRZ Icons deck boxes, the Secrets binder, and the Jaguar and Puma backpacks. But don't just take it from us, check out some of these reviews on screen. For all these amazing products and more, be sure to check out Gem Accessories using the link in the description down below or on Twitter at XGemAccessories. Again, the description down below or on Twitter at XGemAccessories. Hello, everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny. I'm here with my co-host Caleb.
Hello.
And of course, we want to thank you all so much for joining us on today's episode. So, of course, we want to start by thanking all of our wonderful sponsors. A huge thank you to ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as Steelfox Games up in Shreveport, Louisiana. We also want to thank Gem Accessories and Millennium Threads. There are links with discount codes to both of those down below, as well as, of course, TCG Player and always Dragon Shield Games. You can find affiliate links down below for both of those websites. If you just click them before you shop, you can go ahead and support the podcast at no extra cost to yourself. If you would like to join our Patreon, there's a link to that down below where you can get an extra episode every week. All right, so let's go ahead and get on into today's topic. Wow, that was efficient.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
That was good.
Under a minute. Let's go.
Heck yeah.
I'm getting better at those, man. I'm telling you. So let's go ahead and talk about, well, I'm not going to say the market, because we don't really do like market discussion here anymore, or not anymore so much as just like
in general.
Yeah.
Usually because if we do give any market information, it's days old at that point, and that can be the difference between it still being good info or it just being completely wrong.
Right. Like, for example, I could sit here right now and tell you, oh, well, you know, that Herald of Pure Light, the rank 2 Xyz,
Yeah.
they're $30 right now. I could tell you that, and you'd be like, wow, that's crazy. And then by the time this episode airs on Friday,
It's like
they could have announced a reprint of it, and it's tanked.
or like there's a random buyout and now they're 50.
Well, that would be even better for you, but
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
by the way, you should probably go look at that card. That's true. That you should probably go find those if you have them, if you want to get rid of them.
Well, like what I'm saying is because then it's like, oh, they're only 30. I should probably go get them now before they go up. You go look, they've already gone up to 50.
Right. Yeah, you do have to be careful, but
I say only 30, but
you kind of almost reminds me of your Welcome Labyrinths.
oh my god, those
Didn't you get them at like $6?
$5.
$5.
Because I got them as a play set from someone,
Mhm.
so I got them at a little bit of a discount because I was getting all three in one go.
Right. So you get the play set at $5 a piece, and now they're 45, almost
Yep.
50.
I got my lovelies at like only like $3 or $4 a piece. I got Ariana's at like 10.
Amazing. And here I am making my own big money moves, paying like $600 to have a full Sword Soul deck a month after release, and then not ever getting rid of it and losing all the money, and now they're all worth like $3.
Yeah, I dropped like $100 on this on the deck. At the time, I've only dropped like $100 literally before I ordered my big Welcome Labyrinths.
And you got your Lady Labyrinths for the secret rare?
Yeah, for like 6.
Yeah,
7,
I think
8.
you got one for me for 8, and then I
Yeah.
think you got the other one for like, no, I think
7.
you got one for me for like 6, and you got the other one for like 8.
Yeah.
And now they're $20 a piece.
Yeah,
And
like
then the Ariana, was it Ariana or Ariana that you got from me?
the pink one. Ariana.
Yeah, so you got that one
the
for me for
CR.
like 55.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are now.
Less
You've gone
like
stonks
80.
with that deck.
Oh yeah, like 80. And I intend to use it. It was the only reason why I'm not offloading because I actually want to use it. I like the deck. I liked it when it came out.
I really wish you had all the CRs and Starlights for that deck.
So I wish listen, man, if I would have had the money, I would have dropped and got max rarity right out the gate because I just
Right.
love the way this deck's designed. The way I really like the way it plays.
Yeah, because you hate all of your opponents. You actively encourage your opponents to hate you.
like, I kind of wish I could run the actual, like, Labyrinth Barrage and, like, the actual Labyrinth, other Labyrinth traps that aren't Welcome Labyrinth or Big Welcome Labyrinth, but they're so bad. I don't want to run them, though, because they're cool. And the artwork is so nice.
Dude, I love the way that the deck is... I love the way that the deck looks. I like the theming behind the art for the deck.
Mm-hmm.
I just really hate playing against it, dude. I
know.
It is the worst. I mean, and I listen, I love you to death. We played a match right before we recorded this.
Yep.
Dude, game 1, this man, I was like, okay, he goes first, he sets 3, he passes.
Well, I normal summon Ariana, and you Imperm her. I was like, oh, set 3 pass.
Right, which is fine. Imperm is not a great card going into, game 1 against your deck. That's fine.
Yeah.
I go to my turn. I activated Hara. He activates Big Welcome Labyrinth. Summon Lady Labyrinth.
And then bounce Ariana back to my hand so I can get another search next turn.
And then I activate Longyan. He's like, I gotta think.
So
he has a dimensional barrier set.
Right there, I was debating whether or not to activate dimensional barrier in response to Longyan in hand, or if I should wait until after
in resolution.
It
doesn't matter.
It could.
I would activate it in response to him.
Yeah, I'm probably just from now on just going to activate in response for the most part.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Because then if you have like a Lady Labyrinth or a Lovely Lady, and because they both have, Lady Labyrinth is the one that can respond to a trap.
Yeah.
Then you can use her right after.
Yeah, well, yeah, because then I activate the deprison, debury, then I chain her effect to set a trap with a different name.
Yeah, I just think that in general it would just be better to do it on activation.
And then from there, I would set Big Welcome. Then on my turn, activate Big Welcome, special summon Lovely, bounce Lady, activate Lady, special her, effect to Lovely, reset D-barrier.
And so I scooped.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just had access to infinite D-barriers at that point.
It's like, what do you do, man? This is why I got so upset when they banned Red Reboot. Like,
there was no reason to ban Red Reboot. I don't know why they did that.
It's not even that I don't like trap decks and I don't think trap decks should be playable, but I don't have a response to D-barrier. There is no
judgment.
Okay,
popping it.
The issue is that judgment just popping it doesn't do anything because you can just chain it.
No, you have to like it's like
it has to be turn 0 of game 1, which means I have to be running back row removal in the main, which is not a thing that I normally do.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying though. Those are your outs. That's disgusting and awful. D-barrier needs to be banned, says the trap player. Says the trap deck
if it
player.
wasn't for exactly D-barrier and Harpy's Featherstorm, I would be fine with Reboot being banned.
But those two cards are so gross.
I mean,
because like
you have an infinite extra deck lock essentially.
Yeah,
that's almost unoutable. I would have to run exactly DD Crow.
Oh yeah, no, just due to the back row of me being able, just due to my back row being able to protect the Lovely, who was letting me just reset it over and over again.
Exactly.
And that's the big thing is Lovely Lady let me just reset it over and over and over.
It's a nightmare. It's an actual nightmare.
And like, I'm just like, oh, it's so gross. Like, at least
no, but you're smiling when you do it. You can't say that and then smile that much when you do it.
Hold on. Like, at least with Tears of the Overroot, like, I am giving you a resource in exchange
for... You
for...
are smiling.
So, I have an awful poker
Anyway,
face.
so game 2. I don't know. I'm thinking. I don't know what I'm going to do.
So, okay.
And then he lava golems me.
So, right there is my first encounter. It's because I'm running a Pot of Duality. I can either Lava Golem or Pod Duality.
Lava Golem.
Yes, but I was like, well, I was sitting there thinking, what situations would it be better for me to Pod of Duality in that situation?
I have 5 monsters on board. Just Lava Golem, bro.
Yeah. That's me going, okay, well, if the situation comes up, what are the events, like, what kind of board states would I then activate? That's just me kind of thinking,
Sure.
future games, because I'm still kind of learning the deck as the new build anyways. So it's just kind of like, that's what I was thinking.
So anyway.
Yeah, so I lava golem to his monster, to his...
Okay, he lava golems me, right? It gets better. He sets a few. He gets back to my turn. Big welcome. Okay. I start playing, try to do a thing or two here and there. I activate Shaman of the Tenyi. He responds to Shaman of the Tenyi with Terrors of the Overroot. Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my Chi Xiao, target one of his big women.
Because I had both lady and lovely.
So I go to chain my Chi Xiao so that I can negate his dealio.
But lady prevents him from responding to my traps with monster effects.
Right, and then he asked me if I had to respond. So I'm thinking, okay, well maybe he's gonna respond with his other one. And then he goes. Basically, I try to play a little bit until finally I feel like my best option is switching Lava Golem to attacking, just attacking.
Yep, I compulsed it.
And then he just compulses it. Dude, just pick it up. Let's just move on. Let's go do something else. I can't, dude. I just can't. It's so infuriating playing against something like that.
And I had set another compulse as well off of lady.
Yeah, I'm beside myself.
So, like, literally, had you not scooped out on my turn, I was just going to Lava Golem your last two monsters, compulse Lava Golem, swing for game.
I'm aware of the line, my man. I'm aware of how how it works.
Well, yes, that was for the people listening.
That's why I picked it up. I'm so mad. It's cancer, dude. It's cancer.
It's a trap deck. Hey, at least it's not flip flop.
It's so much worse. Okay.
Flip flop being an Edison version of Pure Advantage Camel munches all noobs. Pac-Man.
Okay, so what we wanted to talk about was something that is I can't believe we've just rambled for 10 minutes about the game we played right before this.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk for a little while today with you all about the reprint cycle that Konami has gone through. And this is something that House of Champs has brought up several times in several of his videos. So credit to John for bringing this up and, making this what we felt like was a worthy topic.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially the question worth asking today is, has Konami backed themselves into a corner with their reprint structure, their reprint cycles that they've been going through? So in years past, you could always point to a handful of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! And say these are expensive. Not just like $10 expensive, like $110 expensive.
I mean, how much were tour guides back in the Gap?
They got as high as $300.
Yeah. For one.
A piece, yeah.
And you needed 3 copies? You needed a minimum 2 copies for it to make it really worth it. The third copy was just still even required, so that way you could get her effect off twice.
Correct. So basically for tour guides specifically, you really, it was one of those cards that you felt like you had to play. And it was even crazier in something like Dark World, which I think by Dark World it may have gotten a reprint, but still, it was such a good card.
It hadn't gotten a reprint yet. Its first reprint was in Battle Pack Epic Dawn.
That's not true.
Yeah, it was.
No, it's not.
What was his first reprint then? Because
there was a Collector Tin reprint before that.
There was. I can believe.
Time to go check the database.
Yeah, I don't, because like that whole year for me is weird with set releases.
I mean, that's fair. So
it was like a decade ago.
No, you're right. You were right.
All right, so the first reprint was Battle Pack Epic Dawn.
It was. It got printed in Extreme Victory in May. Almost exactly a year later, it was in Battle Pack Epic Dawn. And then down in October, it was Collectible Tin Wave 2. Wow, you were right. This is what I get for trying to correct you.
I am correct sometimes.
Caleb correct truthers rise up. Wow, okay.
Yeah, anyway.
So, The point is, though, there's always been like that one card that was just like stupid expensive, whether it's Crush Card Virus and Dark Arm Dragon or
Gold Sarcophagus.
right, these gold rares, $300. $300 really does seem to be like the hard cap for like a meta relevant Yu-Gi-Oh card with like 1 or 2 printings.
Yeah, that isn't like a specialty printing like a collector rare or a Starlight.
Right. I mean, you could always point to, for example, like, a Starlight Rare Triple Tactics Talent. They're like $600-700.
Yeah, or the $1,400? Oh, excuse me. Or like the $1,400 Starlight Appaloosa.
I think they're closer to 2K.
Yeah, and then the $800 IP.
I think those are like 14.
There you go.
So yeah.
Last time I looked, those are the prices on them.
Right. So, but you can't. You can justify that, like, if you have everything else and you just like have this desire to just burn money. That's fine. Or if you've been in the game for a very long time and just like acquired more and more stuff over the years and you just have lots of trade fodder for stuff like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the flip side of it is, if you are in more of a position where you are more of a budget player, like the vast majority of the player base is, then you really need to be eyeing the reprint schedule. You need to be keeping an eye on, okay, well, this card was printed about here. That means it should be due for a reprint about here.
Yeah.
And
it'll be available for reprints here, but probably more around here.
Right. So a good example of this, you can look at Pot of Prosperity. It released in Blazing Vortex at the start of 2021. And then it did not get a reprint for about 1.5 years or so until the last year's Megatins. So, yes, that card only has 2 or 3 printings.
I think the issue is that it has the big issue with Pot of Prosperity, though, is that all of its printings are all high rarity and are not exactly common to pull.
3 printings. Well, 2 printings. 1 in Blazing Vortex as a secret, 1 in Blazing Vortex as a Starlight.
Yeah.
And then 1 in the 2022 Megatins. So 2 printings essentially.
Yeah.
So
both of which high rarity, and you're unlikely to pull one.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say that the Prosperity is $40 is not too bad though. When you really
compared to what it was.
Yeah, it was like 120. So, okay, let's just kind of rattle off some of the more expensive cards in today's game.
Yeah, so
that would actually be due for a reprint, because there's cards that are expensive, like Fenrir. Fenrirs are like 65, but they're not due for a reprint.
Not for a while.
Yeah, the card's not even 5 months old.
The one that I immediately think of is Guardian Chimera.
So that one has a confirmed reprint coming.
Yeah, they're still like $100.
They were never $100. They never have been.
They're like no, they're 50. No,
55.
Yeah, because I looked earlier and they were still.
Yeah, they've been 55 basically forever.
Yeah, even with the reprint coming, they're 55.
Yes. So the other one. Okay, here's the one that really Chimera, kills me. I think I know what you're thinking of.
Oh, for the next one?
No, for the first one. I think you got Guardian Chimera confused with a different card.
Oh, what card? Droplet?
Baron.
Yeah, that's
Baron is due for a reprint in the exact same set as Guardian Chimera. It's confirmed, and Baron's still $100.
To be fair, it's I think it's a like Konami put out a thing where they just in writing said it was, but then it's like there's no picture, so it's not real.
No, there's pictures.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, no, if there are pictures, then there's no excuse. It's just people.
It's kind of like when we were due for the Forbidden Droplet reprint.
Yeah.
And it was confirmed. We knew it was coming, but the card was still like $100 because people still like need copies of it.
To be fair, wasn't Droplet's first reprint an ulti reprint in an OTS pack?
Correct.
And then it got another secret printing
in Battles of Legend. Or no, Brothers of Legend. Yes.
Yeah. And it's just like.
And then I got another secret rare printing. No, and then I got an ultra.
Yeah. But it was short printed out the rear end.
Yes, in that Water Legendary Duelist set.
Yeah, like like, what was it? I think it was like 1 per case or something.
It was like 2 per case.
Yeah, it was.
But that's still like not a great number.
Yeah, no, that's still not acceptable for a reprint.
Yes.
So yes, Forbidden Droplet is still expensive.
Not that bad.
Not as bad as it used to be.
I think
But-
they're like $20 or less.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at this point, it has had like, and
Well,
it was
yeah.
in the Mega Tens this last year.
Yeah, like the last time I looked at them, they were still like $60.
Not after any of the reprints you didn't look at it, because after the first reprint, it was 35.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I haven't looked at it since the old.
You can get one as low as right at $20 for the Prismatic Secrets
yeah,
for
yeah.
the Tin of the Pharaoh's Gods.
Okay, cool.
If you want ultis, they're 170 though.
Really? That seems too low.
It does feel too low, doesn't it?
Yeah, because to me that feels more of a 240 range is where it should be at.
I want to say it was at 220 for the longest time. But I also know that
Oh, you know what it might be? It might be people trying to offload their copies to get cash for cash.
potentially that's actually not a terrible like
Offloading their
thought process.
Like offloading their ultis because they already have secrets like whatever.
Right. Yeah, so the
Don't tell me imperms are still expensive.
I mean the OTS ulti is 200.
Ugh.
Other than that, you're looking at $8 for gold,
Oh,
9 or
yeah.
10 for Magnificent Mavens, 10 for the Supra, the structure deck.
Man, they're still $10 a pop.
Yeah, you really can't get an imperm for less than $10 these days.
Unless you get the awful premium gold rare.
Right. Ash Blossom is really nice and cheap, honestly.
Now,
$3 for the regular common.
from what, the Soulburn structure deck?
No, legendary, the Legend of the Crystal Beast structure deck.
Okay.
The Soul Burners are like 4 or 5.
Weird. I guess because it's the original common or something.
Yeah, just because it's harder to come by. It's a little older.
Yeah.
And the new structure deck trap trick ones are pre-selling for $4, but they'll probably go down
Yeah.
a little bit.
Well, to be fair, are people really running Ash right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've
They weren't during tier format because it was underwhelming versus tier, but they are
Yeah.
now.
I mean, because like all the builds I've been looking at, like for Cash and Labyrinth and a couple of Sword Soul builds, none of them are running Ash.
Yeah, it's Ash is such a weird card because it's a good enough card to play. And it's like if you have some extra slots, you can play it. It's not bad to play
But you
it.
got to have the slots.
But you need to have slots. I mean, I'm playing it right now, but I have the slots.
Yeah. Compared to Labyrinth, where it's like, yeah, I could use 3 Ash, but I could also just put in like.
You should never run hand traps in a designated trap deck.
Well, yeah, but then it's like in those slots I could put like Lava Golem or,
Even more trap cards.
just more purple cards.
I mean, you do understand why you would never really use hand traps in a purple deck, right?
Oh yeah, because of Triple Tactics Talent and Triple Tactics Thrust.
Not even.
Really?
You don't want to use hand traps in a trap deck.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically because you would really see. Okay, let's say you hit the perfect Ash Blossom.
Mhm.
It ends your opponent's turn,
Yeah, they pass.
and then what do you do?
Well, depending upon my hand, let's just take the hilarious route and say set 5 pass.
Sure.
1 card in hand.
What did it accomplish for you?
To be depending upon the deck, it probably saved 1 or 2 of my back row. Because some decks can put out pops that then during the end phase, it's like, okay, cool, activate this, pop, pop, pop.
That's fair, I guess.
But the only deck that I know that can do that is maybe Sword Soul might be able to pull that off.
No.
No?
Nah.
Yeah, you would be the one to know. Cash can't really do it, I don't think.
I'm unaware of Cash having any in-engine spell trap removal.
Conko might be able to do it, but that's me going with the old. That's me kind of thinking it kind of runs like the older Drytron builds because it's also a ritual deck, which also utilized pops.
I don't think Makonko ever used a Drytron engine, but I see what you're saying.
But it's 2 ritual decks. It's my brain going. They probably I know they play completely differently because Makonko is more of a equip spell based deck as well.
They have
rituals.
an equip spell. They
Yeah.
have one equip spell.
Well, they have several, but they only use one.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. But basically, putting upon the deck, it could prevent them from getting extra pops on my back row,
Right.
protecting it. Most decks, 90% of the decks out there don't do that. So
To me, a trap deck can't particularly capitalize off of turn skipping an opponent. So I would rather just play more purple cards, I'd rather just be able to just, flip a purple card, move on with my life,
Yeah, or, flip a purple card, declare synchro, and...
Bro. Bro, I will end this podcast and go to bed. Dude.
Oh my god.
I'm beside myself.
Oh.
I am sickened, brother.
You're beside me, though.
Not for long. Not for long, my friend.
Oh my god, anyway.
Enemy person.
Anywho's a what's-its.
So, essentially what's happened is Konami has reprinted themselves into a hole, right? They've kind of backed themselves into a hole, and they don't really have like a ton of cards that are good reprints left at this point. Because, sure, you can reprint Extravagance again. You can maybe get another Droplet reprint in there. There's a handful of cards, right?
Yeah.
But most of their value now is going to have to come from engines.
Engines and singular cards like Trouble Tactics Thrust.
Yes, but Thrust is not going to be due for a reprint until this time next year at best.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, though. They'll have to rely on printing more cards like Trouble Tactics Thrust in order to sell product now that they can't
they needed to do that anyway.
Well, fair.
Here's what I'm trying to say is there are products such as the Megatins that we've had the last many years.
Mm-hmm.
And like John Moore has proposed before, this year would make a lot of sense to really just put an end to the Megatins.
At least for a year before they next year kind of do a new thing.
Sure. They've been doing the Megatins now for a long time. On
Yearly.
and off for like 10 years. So what if you take the Megatins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you eliminate them from the circulation. So
For, let's just say, a year.
well,
Maybe
sure.
2. Maybe even 2.
It gives you a little bit of time to, the tablet is completed. They've got the reprint cycle in a pretty okay spot right now. Ash Blossoms are cheap. A lot of the hand traps are cheap. And there's a reasonable justification to be made that lots of cards are at reasonable price points.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to wonder, if everything is kind of at a reasonable price point, do you think that it's worth it to kind of set... we always complain about like lackluster sets, right?
Yeah.
We complained. We've been doing this since episode 1 when we complained about Ancient Guardians.
Yeah.
Literally episode 1.
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of those deck builder sets are garbage on launch.
Okay, but why? Maybe because they don't have very many good reprints.
If they have any at all.
Maybe because the archetypes are underwhelming, sure, but the next couple look really promising.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to wonder, what if they had more opportunities for good reprints because they didn't have Megatins to worry about?
Ooh, that's a good point. So rather than having the big Mega 10, if this whole thing is just for reprints, instead have those reprints instead put into sets.
Right, and structure them out and maybe even get an extra set in. Because think about sets like Ghost from the Past.
Mm-hmm.
You could have an all ultra rare set like Ghost from the Past. You get 4 packs. In theory, you can still get like a lot of cards that way. Ghost from the Past reprints like 100 plus cards.
Maybe like as an example of something they could do is like Ghost from the Past, the third, where you have your Chase Ghost Rares. That's like,
sure,
I don't know, Ghost Rare Access Code, Ghost Rare.
They did that already.
Fair.
Wait, did they do Ghost Rare? No, they did a Starlight.
Yeah. It's like a Ghost Rare Access Code, a Ghost Rare, Utopia.
Did No, they
I
did
think
a
they have-
collector and ulti.
Yes, like a Ghost Rare Utopia. You get what I'm saying? Like the
Sure,
the more
sure.
collector style Ghost Rares, maybe even a Ghost Rare. I don't know.
Bro, give me a Ghost Gate Guardian.
Ghost Rare Gate
Oh,
Guardian, which would actually go great with the next set, with the next
Exactly.
set. Maybe like a Ghost Rare Stratos, something like that.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? And then and then down the ultras, you have like random reprints of
Sounds
like
amazing.
maybe some upgraded reprints of cards that don't have ultras that are only in common. Like
I think that you really have to do like entire deck cores in that slot, kind of. I mean, like, okay, let's look at last year, right? They did the entire agent structure deck. They did the entire, Tenyi core, the entire Math Mech core, the entire Plunder Patrol core, a lot of the Albaz cores.
You know who would actually be a ballin' ultra reprint in like a Ghost from the Past 3, right?
Magician Souls?
Yes, but besides
Illusion of Chaos.
Hungry Burger.
Ooh.
An ultra Hungry Burger and hamburger recipe.
That would be nice. I wouldn't mind that at all. Also,
Yeah, they
could
could like reprint all the cards that are meant to go with the new archetypes coming out in
I mean, they're going to reprint all those relevant cards in that set also.
That's fair.
It won't be as ultras, but they'll do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Here's
saying.
what
though.
they should do.
Yeah.
Put all the Drytrons in there. And specifically, re-wave Drytron Nova. You know the Drytron Nova still does not have a second printing?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it needs another printing.
You realize that Drytron Nova has been out almost as long as the Tri-Brigade archetype?
Yeah, and it doesn't have a single reprint?
No.
Wow, what are they at?
$15.
Okay, but like I remember them being like 30 before.
Yeah, they peaked at like 30.
Yeah. This is not bad, but still.
Think about that. It's 2 years and some change.
Yeah. There's like a lot of random cards that just have not been reprinted for whatever reason that need reprints.
But Drytron is like a meta strategy, and it just has never gotten a reprint. It's like the most important 3F card in the deck.
Yeah.
It's just baffling to me.
You know who else I think could probably utilize reprints at this point?
What?
The Megaliths.
Oh, dude, all ultra rare megaliths?
Yeah.
Don't even. That would be amazing.
Yeah. And like I said, then of course, like I said, they could also probably, again, because they don't have the Megatins, they could put some of those random one-ofs from archetypes that are just rarity bumps, because they do rarity bump reprints.
Yeah, they do.
They could just put those as ultra in the Ghost in the Past 3, quote unquote.
Right. So
then you can get like ultra rare, I don't know, blackouts maybe.
that's already a thing. We got that in Mama.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know.
We got that in Magnificent Mavens when they
Okay,
reprinted the
yeah.
entire Sword Soul deck.
Okay. So you get what I'm saying though.
Yeah, I mean, you could even do some like altergeist cards or whatever. And then honestly, it gives you an opportunity to have a product that's more engaged toward your Time Wizard community, which is a very large community these days.
Ooh, yeah, like a nice ultra rare reprint of Metamorphosis.
Dude, give me an ultra rare Trap Dust Shoot. Oh.
Yeah. Like, or even better yet, do like a printing of a set instead of a set of Megatin. That's just a bunch of reprints of cards that have been banned forever that are still used in Goat and Edison.
Yeah,
that are just
for sure.
ungodly expensive because they got banned back in the gap and have never been reprinted because they're banned.
Yeah, my point is that I don't think it would be the end of the world if they got rid of the Megatins. But
I mean, I'd be sad to see it go.
my thing would be that if they're going to do the Megatins still, they need to change the structure.
Oh, big time.
For example, where are the promos?
Yeah, like bring back some cool promos.
Just don't make the promos sucky, and we'll be fine with it.
Okay, so maybe even go back to the way tins were before, where it was like you had your face card, and then you also had, so you got that card as a secret, then you also got a couple of supers. So maybe do like I don't know, like a Yugioh tin,
Sure.
as an example. So like the tin itself would have Sword Soul's Yugioh on the front.
I don't want that. I want an interplanetary purpley thorny dragon tin.
And then, like, on the back, it'll say, yeah, it comes with a secret copy of Yugioh, and also comes with a super rare copy of Rivalry of Warlords,
etc.
Interplanetary
Pot
Purple Thorny Dragon,
of Prosperity.
Pot of Prosperity, and Destrudo.
Sure.
Like, that'd be an amazing 10.
Oh yeah, that 10 would be broken.
Just because then you have people buying it because they want the Yugioh. Then you also have a vast majority of people buying it for the Pot of Prosperities.
Yeah, I mean,
and the Destrudo.
You could even put stuff like Pit Knight Early in there. Pit Knight Early is a really sick link too that only has one printing as a common.
Yeah.
And I understand that's like a recent printing, but you just throw it in something, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, because they did put cards in those 10s as promos like a month or two after its original printing.
No, usually it was like
6 months. Yeah.
At fastest, it was 6 months.
Yeah. Still, that was. Yeah, that's still.
I mean, it took Turgot a year and a half.
Yeah.
But I think that with the upscaled release cycle that they're on now with so many of these, it would not really be an issue to, kind of move away from the Megatins into something else. Now, Megatins are also one of the flagship products of Yu-Gi-Oh! Every year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that with Duelist Nexus coming and them changing a lot of the structure and formula that you're going to be getting for packs in general, because I think that's something that will happen. I think when Duelist Nexus comes around, I think that we will see a change in the structure of how packs are set up, and we will also see a change in Konami's not just reprint strategy, but also just printing strategy with what products they put out every year.
Yeah. Oh, so like as an example, they might like increase the number of secrets, but maybe decrease the number of ultras or something like that.
Or the exact opposite, they decrease the number of secrets. I mean, if there was 8 secrets per set, that would be a lot better.
Yeah.
Because it makes it to where you're almost guaranteed 3 per case of each one. You can't.
Oh, that's fair.
Mathematically, you should get 3 of each.
I mean, of course,
in reality, it doesn't always work like that.
Because there's always the opportunity you get 2 of one and 4 of another.
Right.
Or like 2, and then like 4 of another one, or 5 of one and 4 of another.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't really just like promise on these things.
Yeah, it's because it's random chance, but mathematically, on average, it should be
yes, exactly.
playset per case.
In a perfect world where you only have 8 secrets and 2 per box.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it.
Yeah. Now, they could also just rebuild the tins to be a little bit different of a product, because now that the tablet is completed, you don't really have like a super great
theme.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because like the previous 4 tins have all been like have all been DM themed, with the Gold Sarcophagus 10 and then the tablet.
Correct.
So like even for 10 themes, where do they go from there?
So they could do kind of back to an older style where it's less about like a narrow gold rectangle and more of like a big, a little bit bigger of a box.
Yeah, with like again with like the old school printings where it had like the face card where it's just the artwork of a card embossed on the front.
I think what they like about this particular strategy and structure though that they use right now with the different Megatins is that these are probably cheaper to make because they're smaller.
That's true.
And I can't really fault them for that because I like the design of these more.
Yeah. I like the shape and how they kind of stack together neatly.
Yeah, I really do feel like these were like made with like casual Yu-Gi-Oh players in mind, right?
So they could also just like keep the shape and then just get a different thing printed on it.
Right.
So good example is maybe they could do like a dual tin, quote unquote, to where like on the cover on the front, it's like on one half is one deck, the other half is like another. It's like one deck's boss monster, the other half's another one, and then it's just full of cards for those 2 decks.
Okay. Potentially.
Yeah, so it could be like on one side is Yugioh, again going with the Sword Soul thing, because other side is, I don't know, Fenrir, just throwing or Arise Heart, just throwing stuff out there, and then it's full of all the Sword Soul cards, all the
Kashtira.
Yeah, all the Kashtira cards, and maybe throw in some like, I don't know, Tri-Brigade, just random stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of A, a little bit of B, a little bit of C, you know.
Yeah, but then like reprint the entirety of Cash and like reprint the entirety of the 2 decks that are on the front.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really interested to see where Konami goes from here, because I think that there's a lot of really cool things that they could do.
A lot of pathways they can take.
Right, and I think that their ability to put together these unique and creative sets is really something that I think is underestimated in the community.
Oh, definitely. Hey, you know what they could do instead of a Mega 10? Use the exact same like 10 design.
Potentially.
Time, Wizard, support.
Please
Give us the Time Wizard time capsule.
You can just say that the cards were sitting in gold sarcophagus waiting out standby phases.
Or better yet, just like literally it's like this, the Time Machine trap card.
The Time Machine. There's a Time Machine trap card?
Yeah, it banishes one of your monsters, and then during your next standby phase, it comes back.
This is the first I've ever heard of this card, and it has like a half a dozen printings.
Yeah, Red Eyes Retro. That's what Red Eyes Retro Dragon is.
Huh.
It was used in the anime several times.
It sounds like an anime used card. So, there is one other thing I want to talk about.
Yeah, like literally that as a 10.
Yeah. So, we did get a mailbag question. We haven't really been calling for mailbag questions, so we haven't really gotten any. But we got this one a while back, about a week and a half ago.
But we've been...
I forgot. I'll be honest. It came in, and I just...
forgot about it.
Yeah. So, I totally get that the OCG has a different ban list because there are a few sets ahead of us. But why are the ban lists so different? Couldn't we just have the OCG ban list from a few months ago when our sets catch up to theirs? So, I think that this is for a couple of reasons. One, I think that they want there to be a fundamental difference between TCG and OCG deck building philosophy. And to that end, if they want there to be a structural difference in deck building philosophy, then the best thing to do that is to change the available card pool. Right?
Yeah.
So you, for example, over here, we do not have Max C. Over there, they have Max C.
Yeah. Therefore, as an example, that causes the OCG format to be a little bit slower because you can't just combo out a bunch of monsters, because then if you get Max Seed...
I did it again.
Unplugged everything?
No, I didn't unplug everything. It was just a charger. It was just a charger. We're clear. We're clear.
Okay, excellent. Oh, that scared me.
Yeah, me too. You know what? Don't cut this, Justin. Leave this in. I want everybody to know that I messed up again.
Okay, but as I was saying though, but like... Well, actually, what was I just saying? Darn my brain. What was I just talking about? Oh my god.
I don't know. Oh, the OCG.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So like, because they have Maxi, it's kind of slowed down the OCG meta a little, not a lot, just a little bit.
Okay, I'll just have to fix this later.
Yeah. Because if you, you start doing your thing and they Maxi you on the first effect of special summons, it's like they're going to replace it, and then it's like, oh, do I take the Maxi challenge? On turn 0, that's just a turn skip. You're not gonna, you're not gonna do that.
We've had some technical issues this episode.
Yeah,
it's all Caleb's fault.
It's not all my fault.
It really is 100% your fault. You know why?
Why?
Because you tilted me before we recorded by debarrier locking me. Anyway, so...
But you get my point.
I think that they just want there to be fundamental deck building differences between the two formats, and that's fine.
But I mean, I think even before they did the separated ban list, I think there was already a fundamental deck building philosophy difference, just due to different society, different people.
I think that if you just give us the OCG ban list from a few months ago, there will never be any true creativity in the deck building process for the TCG.
Because then we'll just copy whatever the OCG did.
Yeah, we'll just take whatever they did from a few months ago and just play that.
Yeah.
And then you end up with this weird pseudo, like, sure, it's a format, but it's the same thing that they were doing months ago.
Yeah.
And with the way that information travels, we know this information already.
Yeah. And it then allows players to then kind of look ahead and go, well, I'm going to stop playing at this point because I don't want to play against this deck.
Right.
And then hop back in after that hit because you know when it's going to get hit.
Right.
But then that also creates the situation to where, there will probably be people who will look at that and go, I don't want to bother with any of that.
Correct.
Why would I bother if I already know what deck I'm going to be playing a year from now?
Right. It's kind of the last thing to really like put into that. So you have essentially, okay, so we have a difference in deck building philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
You have them wanting the formats to be different to encourage creative deck building on the part of TCG players. And also, I think that there's a little bit of like competitiveness to it in a sense of, well, we will let the OCG have these other cards that the TCG doesn't have, but when Worlds comes around,
they don't have access to. Neither one of us have access. Yeah.
They lose access to all those cards that we already didn't have anyway,
and vice versa.
So, for example, they have Harpor, they have That Grass is Greener,
Mm-hmm.
they have Electromite, they have Thunder Dragon Colossus. They have a lot of different cards that we really just do not have access to.
Yeah. What are some cards that you can think of right off the top of your head that we have that they don't?
That we have that they don't?
Like the inverse. Like how they have Maxi, That Grass, and all that.
My dude, they still have, like...
They still have VFD, don't they?
Yeah. VFD is that one over there, and just nobody plays it.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I know for a fact there's probably like a handful of cards that's like the inverse.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Then at Worlds, like, we lose access to those cards as well.
Yeah, and also, we also get a...
TCG exclusives.
Right, we also get TCG exclusives.
Like, the B-Trooper archetype, the entire archetype was a TCG exclusive at first.
Okay, let's see here. Well, they have Wandering Griffin Rider banned.
Okay, so we lose access to Wandering Griffin Rider, and so at that point, is it even worth running the adventure engine?
It can be, yeah. We have Substitute banned, or we have Substitute. They don't.
Okay.
We have Wind Up Hunter. They don't. For what that's worth.
It's worth nothing.
We have Dragoon, which is probably the best card that I've listed so far. We have... No, LP is gone.
Yeah, we our LP's banned here too.
Do we have Monkey Board?
Not yet. We just recently got Mystic Mind banned.
Yes, they've had Mystic Mind banned for a while now.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to figure out what other cards on this list are things that we might have.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot more cards banned than they do, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Also, they have... Oh, what's the name of that? No. Time Seal is not banned over there. Yeah, also, they will ban any and all... What's like burn cards, like Toon Cannon Soldier,
Regular Cannon Soldier.
Yeah, regular Cannon Soldier, Amazoness Archer,
Grinder Golem.
Grinder Golem's not a burn card.
Oh, I thought he was. Isn't Cannon Soldier MK2 burn card too?
What is it?
All the way back up at the top. It's like right next to Grinder Golem. I think that's Cannon Soldier MK2.
Yeah, I mean, I can almost promise you it is.
Yeah, Cannon Soldier MK2.
Yeah. They banned anything that burns because they just don't want FTKs, which
they don't want.
I respect that.
They don't want burn FTKs,
which I respect.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
Oh no, True King of All Calamities is banned over there.
Oh okay. Oh, it might have been a newer ban for them then.
Right. Gearsu the Orcus Meknite is limited over there. It's not over here. Magnamut is limited over there. It's not over here. Which that one could still be coming, but I don't think it will.
Yeah.
We have Eva banned, and they have it at 1.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think we have a Speed Warrior Terror top limit.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
Orpheus Scorpio is at 3 over here.
Yeah, Gazelle's built one in
And
both
Thunder
places.
Dragon Hawk.
Fenrir is actually Fenrir and Unicorn are both limited over there already, actually, but that's because it's already been out for
Right,
6
which is kind of
months.
the whole crux of the issue here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't think that I would like to play under a list from 6 months ago in the OCG.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, listen, we're gonna cut it kind of short here tonight. We're gonna thank all of our wonderful patrons. So a huge thank you to Cam Yang, Dragonmaid Stunzy, the Glizzy Goblin, Kane Martin, Zyphorus, Blackwing Silverwind, the Ascendant is the best Floodgate, Earth Machine best deck, Epi has anyone actually Red Toy Vendor, HGH Cyber, I am McLincoln, Mountain Oatmeal Spaghetti, Owen Alvarado, quitting the game as a Floodgate, singing in the shower was fun and all till I swallowed soap, then it became a soap opera, Unbanned number 95, Konami, understanding and reading are two different things, Virtually Savior's World, Rogue and Tier 2 are the polite terms for bad deck, AD, Aaron Gardner, Asami, Ashless Chaps, Box Wine, Bestial Pizza Hut, Duty Booty, Dragon Maidenless Behavior for Higher Dog Turd, Heroes Purple Zero, I'm about to Rika Glamour Tribute for Costies Plant Nuts in Your Mouth, Cam, the Hockey Walkie Slush Mixer, Old Man Red, pin code 143, Rescue says Tier 1 Watch Me, and Santa Claus. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the podcast. And again, if you want that extra episode every week, all you've got to do is subscribe to our Patreon down below at the $5 and up tier, and you will also have your name read out on the podcast. So we want to thank you all so much for listening into today's episode. And until next time, have a great weekend, everyone.
Take care, everybody.